بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Hey, let's get it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah and alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. So alhamdulillah, we're pleased to present to you all the well-anticipated course, which is the explanation of Madinah Book 1. And this course comes after I was able to release the explanation of this course, walillah alhamd. And today, inshallah ta'ala, we'll start out with an introduction to this course. So we'll speak about the importance of the Arabic language. We'll speak about what is ilm an-Nahw and what are the benefits of learning ilm an-Nahw. And we'll speak about the aqsam al-Kalima, or the parts of speech in the Arabic language, and how to recognize each part of speech. So again, I welcome everyone who signed up for this course, and this will be an amazing course, inshallah ta'ala, and it will be your first stepping stone in understanding the Arabic language from the aspects of reading it, hearing it, and speaking it. Hayya, let's get it. So as for the introduction of the Madinah book, many of you most likely have this book in your library. And if you don't have this book, you've seen it in many of the bookstores. And this is a well-renowned book, the Madinah Book series, authored by Dr. Fa Abdurrahim, also known as Dr. V. Abdurrahim, who was a teacher for 26 years in the Arabic Institute in the Islamic University of Medina. From the tremendous benefit of the Medina course, and of course this is the same course which is taught in the Ma'had al-Lughat al-Arabiya in the Islamic University of Medina. It's the same course that's taught in the Arabic Language Institute in the Islamic University of Medina. In this course, it was specifically geared to the Ajam, or those whose native language is not the Arabic language. Because you find many different Arabic books, an-Nahw al-Wadih. You find, for example, al-Ajrumiyya, and they're all good books. But from the distinguishing qualities and characteristics of this book in particular, that it is derived and is geared to the Ajam, or as it says here, لغير الناطقين بها, or as it says in the original book, is for those whose first language is not the Arabic language. So it breaks it down in a very, very unique way, where it takes you step by step in learning the Arabic language and understanding the grammar principles of the Arabic language. So this is the book authored by Dr. Fa Abdurrahim. And we explain in the introduction of if you have the book, we explain in the introduction something about the background of Dr. Fa Abdurrahim, as you see here on this page that we have in front of us. And we gave a brief biography of Dr. Fa. As for the explanation of this book, it was authored by the one that we translated, which is on Amazon, and it should be in the bookstore soon, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. This is the cover. شرح كتاب دروس اللغة العربية لغير الناطقين بها. This is by Sheikh Hussein ibn Abdullah bin Ahmed Ali, who was from the well-renowned teachers in the Ma'had al-Lughat al-Arabiya, which we used to call years ago, we used to call the Shu'bah. For those who were, I think they changed the name to the Ma'had maybe in 2007, 2008, around that time. But years ago, during our years in Medina, it was well known as the Shu'bah, or Shu'bat al-Lugha al-Arabiya. And as for Sheikh Hussein, who was well known by his laqab an-Najrani, he was from the outstanding teachers who taught in the Ma'had al-Lugha al-Arabiya. And many of us who from the West, from America, and in Britain, and those who were in the Ma'had at that time before he retired, he taught many of us, and he was from the outstanding, prominent teachers who was well known, and his love for the Arabic language was well known, and his teaching style of the Arabic language was very, very beneficial and very unique, to the point that many people they would desire to be in his class and be taught by Sheikh Hussein. And this is the explanation the explanation that we did for the Medina series is the explanation written by Sheikh Hussein Ali Ali, who was again known by Ustad an-Najrani. So now we'd like to speak about the importance of the Arabic language. And in doing so, we'll read some words from Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah in his tremendous book, اقتضاء الصراط المستقيم في مخالة أصحاب الجحيم, or the obligation of opposing the people of the hellfire. He has some very beautiful kalam in speaking about the importance of the Arabic language. So inshallah ta'ala, we'll read as you see here on the screen. So Shaykh al-Islam, he said, rahimahullah ta'ala, it was reported that Imam al-Shafi'i stated, the tongue chosen by Allah is the Arab tongue. With it, he sent down his book, and he made it the tongue of his final prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So for this reason, we say, it is incumbent upon everyone capable of learning the Arabic language to learn it, because it is the first tongue. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he also said, additionally, Allah revealed his book in the Arabic language, and he made his messenger convey from him the book and the sunnah in his native Arabic tongue. He also made those who embraced this religion early on speak this language. So there was no way to properly grasp and understand this religion except by means of comprehending this language. And to have knowledge of it became part of the religion. This is because it is easier upon the Muslims in understanding the religion of Allah, closer in establishing the outward observances of the religion, and closer to resembling the early predecessors from the Muhajirun and Ansar in all of their affairs. Furthermore, the scholars have commanded speaking the Arabic language, and they disliked constantly speaking languages other than it without necessity. There are other affairs that come with the Arabic language, such as manners, akhlaq, and other religious sciences. This is because a particular custom has a strong effect as it relates to what Allah and His Messenger love or what they hate. He also said, as for becoming accustomed to speaking a language other than Arabic, which is the signpost of Islam and the language of the Quran, up until it becomes a habit of a country and its people, a household, companions, shopkeepers and patrons, rulers, officials, or jurists, then no doubt this is something detested because it is imitation of the non-Arabs. For this reason, when the early Muslims settled in Sham, in Egypt, the language of his people was Roman. The language of the people of Iraq and Khurasan was Farsi. And the language of the people of Al-Maghrib, or the Maghrib, which is Northwest Africa, was Berber. The early Muslims accustomed the people of those lands with speaking the Arabic language, up until it prevailed over those living in those regions, the Muslims and disbelievers alike. So this is tremendous speech by Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, showing the importance of the Arabic language and understanding the religion of Allah, comprehending the Quran and Sunnah, having making the signpost of this noble religion become uppermost and apparent, and likewise teaching it to the children and having the children learn it, and it's from when they're young in the Quran schools and the elementary schools, so the signpost of Islam can prevail. And look what he mentioned regarding the lands of Khurasan years ago, how in not only the lands of Khurasan, likewise Iraq and Sham and Al-Maghrib, Northwest Africa, how when the early Muslims settled in those lands, they accustomed those people to speaking the Arabic language up until Arabic became their first language. And then until they became lazy later on, such as the situation with Khurasan, and they began to become lazy as it relates to the Arabic language, and they abandoned speaking it until the point that the Farsi language prevailed once again. And if you look now in Afghanistan and those areas, Iran, they don't speak that. They're not Arabic speaking countries, but at one time they were. Now we would like to speak about what is ilm an-Nahw. What is the science of an-Nahw? The science of an-Nahw has been defined as, and we'll just highlight some of these definitions as we're speaking about them. What is ilm an-Nahw? The science of an-Nahw has been defined as هو العلم بالقواعد التي يعرف بها أواخر كلمات العربية في حال تركيبها من إعراب وبناء وما يتبع ذلك. It is a science pertaining to the principles by which one can know the reasons behind the changing of the ending vowels of Arabic words in cases when inflection, meaning i'rab, is possible, and when it is impossible, meaning when the letters are or when the words are mabni, when there are words which are mabni. And we explain that, inshallah ta'ala. Mabni means that they're unchangeable. So it is the study of, or it's the science pertaining to the principles by which one can know the reasons behind the changing of ending vowels of Arabic words in cases when inflection or i'rab is possible and when it is impossible, meaning when a word is mabni, and the study of the matters connected to this. And clarifying this definition, a person may wonder sometimes when we see Arabic words, some Arabic words, they end in fatha, some end in dhamma, some end in kasra, some end in sukoon. Naam. Or for example, why a word does not change at all. Hada. Hada does not change. In the voweling zone, hada does not change. Or for example, alladhina. Hada or alladhina. Or why sometimes we hear Muslimun, other times we may hear Muslimin. We may see Muhammadun or Muhammadan. We may hear Abu Fulan or Ya Aba Fulan or An Abi Fulan, right? What are the reasons behind these changes? All of these changes, or the lack thereof, return back to having knowledge of the Arabic language and the science of an-Nahw in particular. What are the benefits and fruits of learning the sciences of an-Nahw? From the benefits of an-Nahw is the ability to guard the tongue from making grammatical errors when speaking the Arabic language. And furthermore, the fruits from its fruits is the ability to properly understand the Quran and Sunnah, which are the two foundations of the Islamic legislation. It will also aid in understanding and properly reading other texts, such as the classical books written by the Imams of the religion, books of Hadith, Shuruh al-Hadith, Aqidah, Tafsir, and the like of that. And one thing I just like to mention is that in the English language, having knowledge of grammar is not of tremendous importance. If a person just has a basic high school level education and English is their native language, then no matter what position that a person may find themselves in a particular work job position or employment position and things like that, then normally a person can get by just with what they know from their native language, their native English language, and just going through grade school all the way through high school. And Arabic is a bit different. If you don't understand the principles of the Arabic language, then no doubt you'll make mistakes in the Arabic language while speaking. If you haven't learned ilm an-Nahw, you'll make mistakes, and it'll be clear that a person doesn't know the Arabic language, and it'll be clear that a person doesn't study the Arabic language. I'll give just two quick examples, inshallah ta'ala, regarding this. One more example. I remember I was listening to a recording of Sheikh Salih Fawzan, hafidhahullah ta'ala, and he had a reader. As you know, many of the ulama, they have readers when they're teaching books of ilm and things like this. So he had a normal reader, and that reader must have been absent that day. So someone was filling in. So as he was filling in, the reader was making mistake at the mistakes of Sheikh Fawzan. He was correcting him as it relates to his errors in Nahw. He was correcting this individual, and after correcting him about 4 or 5 times, and this is just in a period of 1 or 2 minutes, Sheikh Fawzan said to him, he said, الظاهر أنك ما درست علم النحو يوم في حياتك. And it was very embarrassing. He said it's apparent that you never studied ilm an-Nahw a day in your life, Sheikh Fawzan told him. And he said, La wallahi, Sheikh. He just said, nah, I didn't, Sheikh. But anyway, the point is, the study of ilm an-Nahw is very important, because when you learn ilm an-Nahw, you'll learn where the fatha belongs when you're speaking. Where does the kasra belong? Where does the dhamma belong? Where does the sukoon? and so on and so forth. You'll be able, and that's from the benefits that the scholars they mention as it relates to the Arabic language. They say from the benefits that is istiqamatul lisan min al khata, that you'll train your tongue to speak properly and avoid grammatical mistakes. So this is from the tremendous benefits of ilm an-Nahw. Now, so here inshallah ta'ala, continuing, we're going to speak about the parts of speech in Arabic and how to recognize them. So now, so what is the technical meaning of kalima? Kalimatun. What is the technical meaning of kalima in the Arabic language? الكلمة في اصطلاح النحويين هي اللفظة الدالة على معنى مفرد. According to the Nahwiyun, or the Arabic grammarians, the word kalima is what points to a ma'nan mufrad, a single word. And this word has to be heard, right? So ishara, if a person points, is not called a kalima. And likewise, it must be something which is understood in the Arabic language, and it must be something, a word that the Arabs, a word put down or founded by the Arabs. Now, so for example, rajulun. Rajulun means man. You can hear it, and when it's said, you can understand. It means it's something known in the Arabic language. It means man.